What is something people don't realize is actually affordable? Renter's insurance. Especially if you bundle it with your car insurance. Usually covers replacement of contents and loss of use, so if you rent and right now could not afford to repurchase all of your clothing, furniture, housewares, electronics and medical equipment if you have any, as well as pay for a hotel until you find a place or get back in the one where the fire was, get you some. And take the time to accurately evaluate the replacement cost of your possessions to make sure you get enough. Everyone here is talking about the property side, but I think the important part is the liability coverage. If you get sued, renter's insurance will cover a lawyer in a judgment if you get one levied against you. My renter's insurance is $17 per month. We've had 6 to 7 large house fires within a mile radius of my apartment in the past year, so it's absolutely worth the peace of mind. We've had 6 to 7 large house fires within a mile radius of my apartment in the past year. Where the hell do you live? O_O. I don't think there's been any major fires in my city this past year. Within a mile, definitely not. He's actually a serial arsonist who sets houses on fire to commit peculiar types of insurance fraud. For people that can't afford high-quality shoe sole inserts. The cheapest ones at Walmart are made of memory foam-like material and make a world of difference for me. When I first started working as a cook, I bought a $25 pair of non-slip shoes at Walmart. I did one shift with them and knew I needed better shoes, however I could not afford them. I decided to try the inserts out and I ended up wearing those shoes with a $12 pair of inserts for 3 years. My wife convinced me to start buying $120 shoes instead of the $30 ones that were toast after a year of use. I was skeptical that they'd last 4x as long, but coming up on 4 years, so it turns out they do, and they were way more comfortable along the way. I'm converted. Hard pill to swallow up front though, for sure. I learned this way too late in life. They make a huge difference. F good enough for old Converse? 3D printers apparently. Low end $100, Canadian, up to thousands if you want. I bought a Creality Ender 3 for under $300. Get a cheap one and then print a more expensive model. Jokes aside, I always thought it would be interesting to try to make a bootstrap workshop. Start with handmade stone tools and use those to make slightly better tools and just keep building off of your own work to show how far you can get. I'd need to just buy raw materials though, I can't exactly just go mine raw copper or iron. He is too dangerous to be left alive. Spice. Stop making bland-tasting food. In every grocery store in my area, there are 2 sections that sell spices. The main section that sells spices, and then again over somewhere in the Hispanic food/ethnic cuisine section. The ethnic cuisine spices are so much cheaper, and I've never noticed much of a difference in quality. There are quite a few things that the main spice section has that the other doesn't. But always check the ethnic food section first. During the earlier days of the pandemic when grocery stores were running out of stock of things like pasta sauce and beans, I went to the main section for beans and it was barren. Walked over to the ethnic food section and not only were there shelves and shelves full of the exact same beans, they were also cheaper. Was a really funny thing to see. I have saved tens of dollars with this tip. The spice must flow. Car parts. Dealership wanted $400 alone for a passenger side mirror, $200 for labor. I found the same thing on Amazon for $50 and a tutorial on YouTube was free. I remember being surprised at how cheap it is to change your name. There are probably MMOs where they charge more for the privilege. Not sure where you live, but if you are changing your name outside of a marriage in the US, it can be very pricey. It cost me $450 to change my last name. It wasn't even a big change. Just to remove a dash that was placed by mistake when I was born. That crap is not cheap. It cost me under $200. I'm in the US. God, that's so effing annoying. Would have been dope if you could charge the expense to the hospital, laughing out loud. Dick Magnum the first, here I come. Birds of prey in Britain. Sadly, Predatory birds are extremely affordable in the UK. A barn owl is around £25. This leads to idiots thinking that owning a bird of prey is a good idea when in fact they take a huge amount of work to train and maintain. This then leads on to them escaping into the wild and negatively affecting the natural ecosystem. Don't get me wrong, birds of prey are beautiful and seeing them in the wild is an incredible experience. However, they will continue to munch their way through all of our small rodents and animals. Alternatively, because they may have been raised by humans from a chick, they fly off into the wild and die of starvation because they haven't had the parental hunting training. Don't buy birds of prey. In the US, you need a raptor license to handle predatory birds. You need a license or a tribal card just to own the feathers in the US. During COVID, I've replaced all my old furniture for new ones and the total costs were zero. I just looked for ads of people who were going to move out and wanted to discard their old furniture which still can look brand new. I never realized you can find excellent furniture, like desks, coffee tables and cupboards for practically nought. Also, never realized you could purchase affordable musical instruments. A purist or virtuoso would never get a $100 keyboard, yes, undeniably. But to just practice, it does everything I want and it has everything I need. Tons of internal-external outputs, musical settings, 300 musical instrument emulation choices, automatic percussion modes, lights, internal teaching programs, etc. You also need to be careful with getting used furniture from people you don't know. We bought a gorgeous living room suite from someone on Craigslist. It looked to be in immaculate condition, and for $350, it was a steal. We had it for about 2 to 3 days before I started itching like crazy and started getting rash-like bumps all over my arms. Turned out they were infested with bed bugs. We had to throw out pretty much everything in our house because of this and ended up being out thousands of dollars. Edit to add, we met these people for the exchange of money and goods in a public setting. When we tried to contact them again to let them know what had happened, they had blocked my husband's phone number. So I tried to call them. Got voicemail every time. I didn't leave a message. I finally got a hold of them and when I said who I was, they hung up and blocked me. Fun times. We ended up having to stay home from work until we got the situation under control, due to fear of spread to coworkers through our clothes. So we suffered losses in pay. This was during Christmas time, so Christmas presents were fewer that year. We called an exterminator, who turned out to be someone my husband knew and worked with many years prior. He gave us some very valuable info on how to treat the house to kill off the bed bugs without paying exterminators diatomaceous earth. We have cats, and we were scared of how chemicals would affect our pets. So we used diatomaceous earth all around our home, even rubbed it into the cracks of the floors. We also washed every fabric item in our home that we could in hot water and dried on high to help kill any bugs we could. We used a hair dryer on high on stuff as well. We finally got rid of the bed bugs after about a month or so. Edit 2 diatomaceous earth looks like cocaine, so we were sitting in lawn chairs in our empty living room, with white powder sitting all over the place. We deliriously made cracks, pun, about how we looked like squatters in a drug den. Good times, indeed. During COVID, I've replaced all my old furniture for new ones and the total costs were zero. Wonderful for any hard furniture like tables, but I simply can't bring myself to buy any used furniture that's upholstered after seeing what a bedbug infestation can do. I was surprised at how affordable it was to enroll my dog in a reactive training class. Literally everything if you go to garage sales. Really? Where I live, they're 90% trinkets. I've been to a lot of garage sales and I have yet to see an affordable garage. It's a scam, I tell you. They just want to sell whatever junk is in the garage. Original art, not mass-produced posters or prints like you find at Target and Home Goods, but actual one-of-a-kind paintings. /r/Hungry Artists is an awesome place to go for commissions. Reddit link. 99% of the sub has turned into drawing D&D characters because that's where the money is apparently. Wait until they hear about furry porn. Books. There are too many free PDFs on the internet, easily accessible and with wide variety of genres and languages too, not just classics in the English language. I use pdrive.com. For more specific picks in my own language, I use my local library's PDF borrowing system. Edit. There are other websites that other Redditors are aware of, whose links are below my own comment as answers. For more variety, check them out. Many US libraries also give you access to Libby to borrow thousands of free ebooks and audiobooks. I paid like $30 for a second-hand Kindle and have never once paid for a book for it. My library lets you borrow other things, like tools. I've heard of some letting you borrow video games in other cities. Libraries are the best. Learning. You don't need formal education to increase your skill set. YouTube is free and there are plenty of other free platforms and tools available. Using YouTube, I learned to solve a Rubik's Cube, whittling, basic embroidery, and cross-stitch in 2020. Some people don't seem to realize that minding their own business is free. So what are you doing tonight? What are we doing? Hopefully nothing related to your username. Joke's on you, I'm into that crap. Making your own bread/pasta takes little ingredients, but when you get the hang of it, you can do fancier stuff, while still making it cheap and delicious. Financial planning. It's cheap when you don't have any money. It gets more expensive with more money. Fitness. You don't need designer kit, a pricey personal trainer or posh equipment. Walking is free, C25K is free, a run doesn't need to be in an elite gym, just go outside and move. Definitely, however, the biggest thing about fitness is consistency. If someone actually doesn't really like running and prefers something that requires more investment like road cycling or lifting weights, but has never lifted before, I'd rather tell people to spend money on something that the person enjoys more, and is therefore more likely to do it more and consistently over a longer period of time, than to advocate something that's free and not really enjoyable, since the invested money into fitness, that actually produces motivation and or consistent training, is likely 10x ROI down the road in disease prevention and cardiovascular health benefits, etc. Wanted to write this. The majority of people can get all fitness they really need by mixing gravity with stuff they own, or have access to, anyway. Shoes, floor, furniture, stairs, trees, gym equipment and the park nearby. You don't need money to be fit, you only need a little bit of time and motivation. Home brewing. Yes, there are the fixed costs with getting a kit under $100 for 30 liters kit from Costco, but after that there's a bunch of different things you can make on the cheap. And you're brewing in 30 liters increments. That's a lot of savings if you're a regular consumer of beer, cider, wine, mead, and other fermented things. Are you tired of searching for a local kombucha cafe only to find out there's just one and it's awful? Make some slightly less awful kombucha in the comfort of your home, and pocket the ridiculous price they were charging you. AAA membership. If you own a car, it's the best $55 you can spend. Some insurance carriers offer this type of coverage as well. At Allstate, at least in my state, you can get roadside coverage for $6.45 every 6 months, so like $12.90 a year. Love? It's free. Love you all. Basic lawn care. I pay a couple of local guys cash to mow my lawn every week because I have severe allergies, and they charge an extremely reasonable rate and do a much better job than I could. The COVID vaccines are free. You don't even need insurance. Seriously, if you haven't gotten yours because you're afraid you can't afford it, go get it today. Cries in third world. We have so many extra in the USA that we literally have free vaccines and syringes just lying in the street and sidewalk. I gave myself 3 extra shots today alone. Your car extended warranty. Allow me to introduce myself. Can you stop calling me, please? Bananas. What could it cost? $10? There's always money in the banana stand. The stuff on the lower shelves of a grocery store are more affordable. Not necessarily. Lower shelves are for less known brands. Eye-level shelves are for stuff they want to sell. Discounted stuff goes eye-level, so you may actually get a better deal if you look for discounts. In general, the best way to save is looking at the price per kilogram and compare it to the quality of what I'm buying. My philosophy is not to get the absolute best deals, but to get the best deals on good products. A cell phone call and text plan with limited data. Laughs in Canadian. These kitchen knives, they are sharp too. Food. It's affordable, but most of us don't have the time to properly prepare the affordable food. Espresso machines. I work as a barista and have for years, and finally decided to just get an espresso machine of my own. Got a nice one with a steaming wand for $107. Espresso, hot chocolate, tea lattes, etc. I had a Keurig, with reusable cup, prior to that, which was comparable in price, and the espresso machine is far superior. I could never go back. So many people think they're $800, $1,000. But you can get a good quality one like mine for cheap, and then you can stop paying for overpriced lattes elsewhere. It paid for itself fast. Condoms. Healthy foods. If planned right, cooking at home from fresh materials could be just as cheap as pizza and fast food. Only if planned right though. Oxygen. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.